ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਹਿਮਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਾਂ, ਹਰ ਜੀਵ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਰੱਖੋ, ਜਿਸ ਹਾਲ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਰੱਖੋ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ। ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਹਿਮਤਾਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਰਹਿਮਤਾਂ ਨਾ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਜੇ। ਮੈਂ ਕਦੀ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਦੇ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਨਜ਼ੂਰ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਜੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰੇ। ਮੇਰੇ ਗੁਨਾਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦੇਣਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਤੇਰੇ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਪਾਪ ਬਥੇਰੇ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। ਬਸ ਇਹੀ ਉਹ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਜੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल गुरु जी और गुरु जी की प्यारी संगत। आज का हुक्मनामा दरबार साहब, तनासरी महला पंजवां। जतन करे मानुक डहकावे, ओ अंतर जामी जाने। पाप करे कर मुक्कर पावे, भेक करे निर्बाने। जानत दूर तुम्ही प्रभनेर, ऊत ताके ऊत ते ऊत पेखे, आवे लोभी फेर रहाओ। व्याख्या। हे भाई, ਲਾਲਚੀ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਯਤਨਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਧੋਖੇ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਹੈ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਵਿਰਕਤਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਪਹਿਰਾਵੇ ਬਣਾਈ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਾਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਪਾਪਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੁੱਕਰ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਹੇ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ, ਤੂੰ ਸਭ ਜੀਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਵਸਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਲਾਲਚੀ ਪਖੰਡੀ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦੂਰ ਵਸਦਾ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਹੈ। ਲਾਲਚੀ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਲਾਲਚ ਦੇ ਗੇੜ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਸਿਆ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਮਾਇਆ ਦੀ ਖਾਤਰ ਉਧਰ ਤੱਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਧਰ ਤੋਂ ਉਧਰ ਤੱਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਟਿਕਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ। People who try to deceive others, but the inner knower, the searcher of hearts, knows everything. They commit sins and then deny them. While they pretend to be nirvana, they believe that you are far away, but you, O God, are near at hand. Looking around this way and that, the greedy people come and go. Pause. As long as the doubts of the mind are not removed, liberation is not found. Says Nanak, he alone is a saint, a devotee, and a humble servant of the Lord, to whom the Lord and the Master is merciful. We are so blessed that we have Guruji Maharaj who takes care of us and doesn't let us fall. And whenever we fall, he just in times holds us and takes care of us. And we are blessed to, spend these difficult times in his Charan Sharan. And every day he showers his love, blessings in form of Seva, Satsang and Simran. Today we have Guruji's lovely daughter, son Aunty, who will be sharing her journey with Guruji Maharaj. And with folded hands, bowed head, I request her to kindly unmute herself and share her journey with Guruji Maharaj. And as she has direct connection with Guruji, my next sentence was, could you please turn on your camera? Sangaji is requesting, and there the camera went. So Shukrana Guruji.
Jai Guruji Maharaj, Shukrana Guruji. If you could just let me know that you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Shukrana Guruji, thank you Guruji. Just being here right now, sharing satsang is a satsang of its own. I thank you Aunty for calling me, and I was outside. I pretty much ran home, but it's everything is planned by him. So Shukrana Guruji. I will go just right into it. I'll quickly say a bit of how Maharaj initiated me, but I'll make it super brief because he's guided me to share some other things today. So Maharaj, his ways of blessing us is unlimited, and to think with our limited minds of how his blessings will come is just it's just pointless. So this is why he had said, leave your thinking, and the minute you stop thinking, I'll start thinking. It's so true. It was in 2018, in the month of, I think it was June month, end of June, that I was suffocating from my ailments. And what I mean by my ailments is, at this point, it had turned into mental ailment. And anyone who goes through mental ailment, or has anyone going through it, it's something that you don't have. Of course, all ailments are hard on their own, but mental is, having experienced both, I have to say mental was incredibly hard, because they can't diagnose it. And so I just remember saying, while staring at the sky, that that desire for me, because my desire on the last episode, after 6 years of being ill and after 3 years of being bedridden, it was to die. Literally, I just wanted to die. And that desire, even on June month of 2018, vanished. So for me, I've realized that the minute that desire, any desire, leaves, then his grace can, because there's still a want. I still have a plan. And if I have a plan, and which for me was to die, then he was making me realize that the moment you leave all of that, the living and the dying, and you just let go and surrender. So I understood then, before even walking into his world, I realized that he was teaching me to surrender. And I did. I just remember one day just saying, I don't care anymore. I don't want to die. I don't want to live. I don't care. I'll just live minute to minute. And I truly meant it. It was all gone. And so this is when my journey started. The next thing I remember is forgiving my father. A voice came and told me to forgive my father. I had this hatred towards my father, this emotion, because when we came to Canada in 1998, my mother became the male figure, and my dad became just somebody that was there. It wasn't like he took on the role of a mother in the house and it just balanced out. He was just there. A body was there, I have to say. And my mother became the man. So I didn't have a mother and I didn't have a father. But Shukrana to Guruji that he made me stand on my own feet since I was 13 when I came to Canada. And I remember that I felt that my real mother and my real father, my real parent, was someone bigger. I just knew that. And but anyway, I had this hatred towards my father, but of course I couldn't forgive my mother for taking away my father's role from him when we came to Canada, not realizing then it was my guru's will. All of this, it was all his plan. Everything was. And I remember one night I was tired of hating this man. And I just sent a prayer and I said, God, so by this point, I have no idea of anything. I'm still bedridden. I don't know anything of Guruji Maharaj or Lord Shiva or the spiritual world for that matter. I didn't know anything of anything. And I just remember sending a prayer, and I just closed my eyes and I said, please help me forgive my dad. And I think I don't know exactly when, half an hour later, 15 minutes later, my laptop, this same laptop here, the YouTube account YouTube started playing on its own suddenly. And a video by this philosopher started playing on its own. And it was about forgiveness. And it said something exactly. It just started and said, every role, this life is nothing but a movie, as if you go to a movie theater and everybody, before entering they've been given this role and a script, and here you are fighting with life, because that was me. And literally, as if this man behind my computer was talking to me, and you're fighting with life saying his role should have been different, their role should have been different, they should have said something else. And here I am, like sitting on the floor, and like I'm like, what am I hearing? And it was literally him speaking through Alan Watts to me that it's nothing but a movie, and it's like going to the movie theater and writing to the producer, right in the middle of the movie, because we are in the middle of the movie, his movie, and saying, I don't like this script, I don't like this role, this person should have played the role this way according to my liking, this image that I hold in my head, and how dare you? And he said it so perfectly that it just made sense. And imagine I have fire all around me and someone just puts a bucket of water. Literally, it was instant. This hate left me. And I felt light. And then I forgave my mom. Everything made sense. I'm in my bedroom. I didn't go anywhere. This is when I stopped going to temples. This is when I stopped going to mosques, meditation centers, yoga centers. I pretty much went everywhere and anywhere you can imagine. Every hospital. I just stopped. I was in my room and I was like, enough. And I realized now I was having a direct connection. And he taught me everything before I entered, I have to say, I feel. But of course, it's the school of Guruji Maharaj is never ending. And again, these are all just my own experience. I'm not saying this is for anyone, this is just for me. Because I do believe in direct connection. And no matter how much we try to join this and join that and be here and be there, until you make your direct connection and listen to your guru, that he has said direct connection. He didn't say collective, he said direct connection. And yes, of course, he wants us to share satsangs and be together and be in prayer as a family, but you have to make that direct connection yourself with Maharaj. And we just delay the process, the connection, then he just comes through. I'm not going to go so much into detail, but Maharaj sends me to a church, just the whole going on Canada Day. He guides me to go to this church, and I just wanted to get away from this, from my house pretty much. And by this time I had forgiven my father, so I started going out. And here I was in front of this church, and I see a girl with a tattoo that just catches my eye, and it's him telling me, ask her what it means and take a photo of it. So I have a photo of this tattoo. I hope it's visible. It's this same girl on that day. And what caught my eye was mumkin, this word mumkin, and it just said possible. And I just asked her, what does your tattoo mean? She said, anything is possible. And I took a photo of it right there. And I walked in, and inside the church, they usually start worship music. And they stopped the music, and the girl said, someone on the way to church today was running and crying. And that was me. I was running and crying on the way to church on that day, 1st of July, 2018. And God wants you to know that this suffering is over and land of grace is near. So you can imagine an hour later, I think, I'm not sure exactly, but 2 hours, an hour later, Guruji Maharaj comes into my life through this divine book, The Divine Light. This is the exact book that Maharaj came into my life. And this bookstore, it was manifested. I have no doubt it's Sachkhand, because I studied this. I was bedridden. I pretty much just wanted to get my hands on any book that I could, so I could read it while I'm on bed rest. But I remember sending a prayer before leaving, and this book literally just caught my eye, and right in front of me, which it was not there before. And 2 years prior to this, on my second episode when I was ill, I saw a white light come through the window of my house, and I healed, and then I got ill again on the third episode. So I saw the book just sitting like this, and literally he gave me a vision of the white light and said, pick up the book. So the light and the light connected. So Maharaj has the power, even when you're ill, even when you think you're not connected, even he's so powerful, he will do anything and can do anything. I wasn't in my high vibrating self. I was far from it, and he took over. He has the remote control of your life, your body, your thoughts, your visions, your everything. So don't worry about nothing. Everything is in his hands, and we know this. But it's okay, we're human, and he's so unconditional because he is our real mother. He is our father. He is the bigger parent. And at times he has to be a guru. And just like a mother slaps his child, at times he has to do that. And it's for our own benefit. So shukrana. So anyway, this bookstore has new books, and I don't want to say used books. Books that have been written, and people donate to this bookstore. So if you open this book, so the books that are donated, they usually have a price on them. So the new books have a price on the back, and like $12.99, $9.99, $8.99. The books that are no, not used, that are, because it's like, oh, it's like, I can't call it, this divine book, which came from Guruji Maharaj himself, and he read it, and so he donated it to this bookstore for me to pick up. Has an amount of $4.99, but you can see a 3 there, and when you add up all this number, it becomes 7. So this is how he came into my life. He only knows I picked up the book and I made fun of it. I was like, yeah, someone's story. And I remembered the book, Eat, Pray, Love, or something like that, and which I had seen a movie. But anyway, the book came out with me 5th of July. I have a dream. Never did I open the book. I truly left it on the floor in my bedroom. And then I have a dream that I'm in a satsang, and I see a ball of energy enter me. I faint, and then I get up, and in a huge bed, I'm sleeping on the left side of the bed, and then on the right side, I see a bald-headed man wearing a dark brown dress, sleeping right there. And I wake up from my dream, and I go to my notebook, and I'm like, who was that man? So 2 days later, the first thing that happens is read this book. And of course, this is how Maharaj came into my life, how he initiated me. He is Lord Shiva, without a doubt. Because I didn't know who Lord Shiva was, and someone had written Guruji Maharaj is Lord Shiva. And when I Googled it, I realized that Maharaj had manifested in 2003, July month, in my grandmother's house, and I saw a bald-headed man standing right in front of me at 4 or 5 in the morning, and everything looking like a human, but I didn't see physical eyes. I just saw a third eye, just a vertical eye, huge. I have to say maybe this big. And it wasn't that I've seen a man in my grandmother's house standing in Iran. It wasn't that. It was the fact that I'm like, that caught and I just covered myself. I was shivering. And of course, 15 years later, he decides that this is the time for me to be initiated. He squeezed me like a lemon. I think squeeze is not the right word for it. I still cry when I think about what I went through. I do. I'm still in the process of healing. I understand that. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to Maharaj for the suffering I went through, because let me tell you that when we suffer, it's Guruji's way of taking us to a higher level. There is no other way. If you suffer, you are going to a higher level. Now, the whole world is going through this suffering right now. Is it a good thing or is it bad? Okay, a lot of people say there's a lot of death. Didn't our I heard this from a Sangat and blew my mind. Even divinity came in a form and left his body. Of course, we should never, who am I to compare Maharaj? But let's come into the physical sense. He showed us not to be fearful of death. And we're spirit anyway. Our real home is with him. And so in this life, we are with him. He's with us. In this life, he's with us. And in that life, we are with him. So what fear? Here we're happy, blessed. There we're blessed. Shukrana. Anyway, nothing is permanent here. Only he's the only truth. And to be able to know of Maharaj in this lifetime and not have to go to our real home and realize, it's such a shukrana. So suffering is a level up. And, and if you want to think about it truly, Corona is exactly the golden light around the sun. So the sun, when it goes through the solar eclipse, it has a golden light around it. And if you Google that, that is called Corona. And nature, divinity is showing us that when we go through that darkness, that, through this Corona, then his light can come. And that's what happened to me. I went through it, of course, for 6 years, but I was all alone. But now we have to be grateful that this outer Corona that's happening outside, we're all going through this and it's bringing oneness. So Shukrana Guruji. I will go back to Satsangs. He guided me to share this. So the first day that I went to Satsang, it was July 13th, I found Satsangs and it was all Maharaj telling me where to go, what to look for. I walk in, Guruji Maharaj says, get up and share your Satsang. I said no. He said, get up and share. I said no. Then I said, Guruji, I said no. And he said, okay, if you don't, you're going to have your headaches. And he gave me, I had severe migraines. I can't call them migraines. It was just beyond migraines. And he gave me a percentage of them back. And he told me that basically after that, I learned that by sharing satsang, you're also being healed. And of course, you're getting blessings and other people. And we know all of this, but I understood for me, sharing satsang is his way of healing me even more. And so when I told him, I said, Maharaj, I need to know this is you telling me to share satsang, because it's my first day and I'm walking in there like, just get up and share. And everybody was speaking Hindi. But I understood he was telling me to get up and share the satsang. He sends a girl who's wearing a t-shirt that says rise, just like this. I hope you can see this. So his ways, it's just incredible. I was so weak and just like how it's written in the Divine Light, Maharaj has said that those who he knows are so weak, he injects with so much faith. It's like he keeps injecting you. And so he knew how weak I was, that I still had tremors in my body, and I still had severe anxiety attacks. And I had even though Maharaj had come into my life, but it's not, I couldn't go from 6 years of that to all of a sudden all healthy and well. So Guruji told me for the first year, you have to just come to satsangs and satsangs only. And so that's all I did. I literally just came to satsangs, went home, didn't socialize, didn't talk to anybody. He had said, you come, once the satsang is done, you get up and you go, don't go anywhere. And we know this, he had guided, just go home after and just take all that energy with you. And so it's incredible, his ways. At home, it was a time that we used to call Guruji G. So Mr. G, like if anything happened, a blessing happened, we would say G instead of saying Jai Guruji. So if we had non-Sangat or there were people that Guruji had directed us that we weren't allowed to tell about Guruji, because he tells you because it's all him choosing, but he will tell you and guide you. So we would just say G. We would think about someone and they would call, we would say G. We were happy, anything we would say G. So one day I was like, wait a second, Guruji, is it okay I'm calling you G? Because you're my parents and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to disrespect you. You are everything to me. You are everything that I looked for, before Maharaj initiated me. When I think about it, I looked for him in every relationship. I looked for him in every job. I looked for him in every event that I went. I looked for him in every shopping experience that I did. I looked for that happiness, but and I was empty. And the more I got, the more I filled the outside world with, thinking that this is going to do it. It didn't. I felt emptier and emptier and emptier. And no wonder it hit. My ailments started with blood problem, and blood problem is usually severe unhappiness. And that was me. I was so empty because I realized now that I've been looking for Maharaj my whole life since I was a child. I remember I would look out the sky and feel like I've been distant from something and somebody, and I looked for him everywhere. So anyway, finally I have him, and I want to make sure that I'm, respecting my everything and our everything. And so I went to Guruji. I sat with Guruji again, instead of going to old Sangat, new Sangat, going to website, going to here and there and asking direct to Maharaj. Guruji, we call you G, of course you know this. What don't you not know? I just want to say, do I have your blessing calling you G? So done, okay. I get up from my meditation, and I forgot about this. Couple of hours later, I'm driving, and all of a sudden there's a car that comes right in front of me and then leaves and then comes back again. Now I realize it was Guruji driving through that driver and trying to show me something, and my eyes just catch his license. And this is how Maharaj answers us in his unlimited ways. And this is a car right in front of me that says G for Guru. And so remember, we kept calling Maharaj G. And so I took a photo of it while driving. I'm like, Guruji, I know I'm doing something that I shouldn't, but there are no laws in your world. And so if you will, I want to take a photo, and I understand why he gets me to take photos every time. Like in Shukrana to Guruji, I understand. One day Maharaj sends me to Baramandir, Shukrana to Guruji, to really my only intention was, I have a dream. So 2018 September, Maharaj blesses me with a dream. I've never been to India by this point physically, and by that time there was no photos of inside the mandir. There was no live streaming. There was none of that. Of course, it started when Corona started, and there were no photos. I had seen photos of outside Baramandir, but never inside. But in my dream, I'm standing in this beautiful place that is crowded, full of lights, and I'm not seeing myself as I'm in the body. I'm seeing myself from a third perspective. Like I'm seeing myself across pretty much. So I'm having, like, it's like I'm seeing a movie, and I'm standing, I was standing right in front of the doors of Baramandir, and there was a Swarup of Guruji Maharaj, a red one, and that's my dream. I just see a lot of crowd, a lot of people, lights everywhere, and I get up again. That was September. In October, I get Guruji saying, go to Baramandir. And of course, I sit with Guruji and I say, Guruji, if you want me, if I'm being directed to come to Baramandir, let me know. And not only do I see a photo of inside the mandir and it just makes sense that, oh my God, I saw a dream of it, that I was in Mandir in my dream just a month ago. Then I go to a satsang that day in Toronto and someone just gets up and says, I'm going to India, you should come. So that was my indication. And Shukrana to Guruji, I book 11 days and my only intention. So nothing goes per your plan. You can plan all you want. He has the remote control. And my only plan was to go to Mandir. Literally, the vision that I had was I'm going to go bow outside the doors, literally, because I had seen photos of the outside. And that's it. That was my only intention. I said, I just want to be able to touch that, even the outside. If my feet touch that ground, I'm happy. I just want to thank you for everything that you've done for me. And he sends me to India. The whole trip, I'm not going to get into. It's just, it needs another day of satsang. But I didn't ask Guruji Maharaj for anything. And this is for me an indication that if I don't ask for anything, he gives the best of the best of the best. What he blessed me with was not only 11 days, he changed the trip to 30 days. He blessed me with doing seva. And if I say that I was in Mandir for the whole trip, I'm not lying. I was pretty much inside Mandir as if it was my dad's house. He makes you feel so special. This is for all of us. And, I don't need to say this. We all know he makes all of us feel special. And as if, like an uncle said the other day, as if all he has to do in this world, Maharaj, is to just focus on you and making you happy and giving you suffering so you could go levels up. So blessings always. And, change to 30 days. I was in Mandir for the whole time. I had no idea what Diwali was. I had no idea Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday. You see, when you don't think, Maharaj will think for you. When you don't think, Maharaj will think for you and will give you more than you ever could even imagine. I didn't ask to do seva. I had no idea what seva was. I had no idea you could do seva inside the mandir. I literally just wanted to bow outside the door, but he gave me the world. He opened the door of not only his bedroom, not only Mahasamadhi, not only being in Mandir. I literally, it's all Maharaj. It's just showing you and sharing with you what he's capable of, because it's so huge. I even walked up the stairs and I went where the
Shivling.
shivling is. Thank you. Where the shivling is, and I touched it and I just spent time there. I would have never imagined, and I had seen photos of this shivling, and I mean, who would have ever thought that I would go up the stairs and I would just hang around there? And so I literally came up downstairs and somebody that I didn't know just looked at me and said, "You are at your dad's house, aren't you?" And I know it was Guruji, because I was like roaming around here, there. No, I even had a cell phone with me. This is a satsang. So years ago, my mom received the phone, and this phone happened to be a stolen phone. She got a gift, and anyway, how Maharaj works. And she had we just used this phone for photos. That's all. It wasn't working. We couldn't unlock it. It was just locked. And it came from Iran, back home. And so before my travel to India, my mom a couple of minutes before, Guruji Maharaj said, "Take your phone. You're going to take photos." I was like, "Guruji, I've heard in Mandir, you cannot take photos. You cannot take your phone. You can't do any of that. But leave your ifs and buts." This was my learning. Okay, there are rules, but then who is the doer here? Who is planning everything? Yes, Maharaj had said, "Don't use your phone." It's because he, it just took away from that receiving of his blessings. But he was anyway, direct connection. That's all it means, direct connection. And he told me, you're going to take a phone. So here's my mom just coming out from her bedroom. I didn't say a word to nobody. This is what Guruji just told me. And she comes out and she gives me this phone. She said, you should take this on your trip. And guess what it had on the phone? Her case had peacocks, 2 peacocks on them. And I had no idea. Baramandir, the main hall, a temple had 2 peacocks that matched exactly that. Like how he connects everything and everything. And I literally took photos of everywhere. And imagine that I'm walking around with my phone in Baramandir, which is a no-no, especially at that time. And then all of a sudden, this auntie comes and screams, "Auntie, no phone!" And then all of a sudden, Guruji sends this other man and says, "No, it's okay, she can." And it's like, I don't know her, I don't know him. Who are these people? Like, it's like, somebody said no, and then Guruji sent somebody right away. It said, no, she can take photos. And to be truthful, not even one of these photos have been shared. Not one did I have Agya to this day to distribute these photos. And it's just been sitting on that phone. Only Maharaj knows why. But I think it was a huge satsang. I mean, my limited thinking thinks that it was just to tell me that anything is possible with me. Even when I make the rules that I say no phones, I can even break my own rules. So that was him doing that. So Shukrana. And I was going to say something. Yeah, so I was blessed with seva inside the mender. So when you don't ask, he gives you so much. And this one I want to share because, I always wondered what Sachkhand was. Like, you read about it, what is Sachkhand? And I read it in a lot of satsangs, especially in light of divinity. And anyway, I had forgotten about it. I'm in Baramandir, and remember, we were doing seva. I was vacuuming seva, Shukrana to Guruji, and Diwali comes, so we prepared the whole mandir for Diwali. Now, up to this point, I had experienced Maharaj's divine heaven on earth as a who should I say sevadar? I mean, it's all him doing through us, through me, through this instrument. But I really didn't experience it like the other sangha, and I really wanted to. So here I was saying, yes, 6 o'clock, sangat are gonna come. I'm gonna have food in thali. I've never shared a thali with anyone. Here I can have it. I read about it. And sevadars only had langar on their own. It was just you had it on your own plate. So I never experienced, and I really wanted to. I wanted to sit with strangers and from all walks of life and just have food with them because I knew Guruji was putting us together. And so Sangat come. And I'm sitting in the main hall. We go through the whole thing. Main hall, we come longer hall, we go upstairs. And I sit, and there's this woman with a beautiful yellow dress sitting in front of me. And I'm just like staring at her because it's like, oh, Guruji knows my favorite color is yellow. And a day before that, he blessed me with, Guruji Maharaj blessed me with this Swaroop. This photo itself, which later I found out that it was Guruji Maharaj himself that came through an auntie to give me this. And yellow, he knew my favorite color since I was a kid was yellow. And so anyway, the day later, she's sitting right in front of me, and I'm like just staring at this woman like, oh my God, this is Guruji in another form. Guruji's having langar with me. This is wonderful. And then all of a sudden, the auntie who was beside me said, let's go. And I'm like, go where? She's like, let's go home because my uncle is alone. It's Diwali. We've been here for like the whole day. We've already experienced, let's just go home, and we have to come back anywhere early tomorrow to do seva to clean the mandir. And I'm like, okay, Guruji, everything is in your hands, like your reaction wants to come, your no wants to come, your desire wants to come. But when you understand that everything happens per his plan, and whatever he wants will happen. At the end of the day, there's such relief in life. And literally, so I just said, okay, but he was injecting that teaching, at that point, because oh my God, I failed so many times after that. But at that point, he embedded that in me. And I just said, okay. And then we come downstairs where the main langar hall is before we exit. And there are Sufi singers downstairs. And Auntie says, oh, let's just listen to one Sufi song and then we go. And I'm like, okay, Satvachan, anything, whatever you want, Guruji. I'm just supposed to flow in life. What am I to say? No, whatever you want will happen. Okay. So we're sitting, and I just closed my eyes and I said, Guruji, I just wanted to have your langar. That's all. But whatever you want, I just wanted you, and you came into my life. So I have everything. I don't need anything else. Food or not, house or not, car or not, friend or not, husband or not, whatever or not, I have everything. You are everything. I don't care anymore, whatever. So I had this conversation with Maharaj, and all of a sudden, we get up, we leave, we go home, we celebrate Diwali with Aunty and her uncle. And not only does Maharaj show us a darshan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guruji, we sleep, and the next morning when we come to Baramandir, the uncle opens langar hall, and there are two langars sitting on the counter. So when you go inside the langar hall, and you have to understand this, the langar hall was locked. We were the first ones that entered Baramandir literally in the morning, 7 in the morning, to start vacuuming langar hall first, so sevadars can come to clean the rest of the mandir. And here when we enter, the lights on, the uncle leaves, me and Aunty are standing there, Sunny Aunty, and we're just looking on the counter. Our eyes are on the counter, and there's two warm langars there. And Guruji told us, this I made for you guys, and this is Sachkhand. And we called two other Sangat, and we shared so he gave me that experience. But again, when you surrender and accept, he gives you more than you can ever imagine. The roti was still warm, and all of us know no longer is left in Baramandir. Everything is cleaned like there's no tomorrow, food-wise, and there are no plastic containers. And it was so fancy, these fancy plastic containers. So Maharaj had cooked for us, left there. Shukrana, shukrana. I can go for days, you guys know of Guruji Maharaj recently blessed a Jamaican Sangat. Just, his ways, he's literally, when Maharaj said there's going to be a day where I will be worshipped in every corner of the world, that is coming, that is happening, literally. I think I'll, if I'm allowed, I'll share this last satsang, and then I will.
Please do.
Jai Guruji. So he just reminded me, I was going to end it, but Shukrana Guruji. So if you feel you're alone, you are never alone. And this will show you that Maharaj can come to you anywhere, anytime. He is with you, standing beside you 24/7. And this is for all his Sangha. It doesn't matter if you've been initiated 2 years, 3 years, if you've been with him for 20. As we all know, only Maharaj knows how long we've been with him. So one day, Maharaj sends me on a trip, beginning of this year. He sends me to a beautiful destination. I was in a relationship, let's be honest, you're my family. I was in a relationship, and from day one, Maharaj was showing me that this is not where I want you to be. But I kept asking, and I remember I was in Baramandir, actually, standing in main hall, preparing for Diwali, and I made one of the no mistakes. I had to learn this. I asked Guruji to get me married to this guy. And Guruji Maharaj will give you what you ask, but he will also save you. So wonderful soul, beautiful soul he is, but we speak two different languages. We spoke two different languages. My whole world is Maharaj. I don't want any other world than Maharaj. And I don't care if I'm Iranian. I don't believe to be anything. I'm his, and I'm universal, and I'm Gurujian, if I could say it. I'm Gurujian, or Maharajian. I don't know. I don't believe in I'm Iranian, I'm Indian, I'm this, I'm Jamaican, I'm Canadian. And Corona is making us well aware of that. But anyway, I don't ask for anything is what I'm trying to say, because he will give you, he will. Again, this is my experience, but he also is protecting you, and he's giving you the 10% to teach you not to ask for anything. And I'm so happy he taught me that, because after this, I'm never asking Maharaj for anything. And my only prayer is whatever you want, let that happen. This life is yours, and trust me, the purpose of our lives in this lifetime, in this Kali Yuga, is nothing but Maharaj. There is no other purpose. You've already experienced the job, you've already experienced the relationships, you've already experienced everything else in your past lifetimes. In this Kali Yuga, it's only Maharaj. And we've already been blessed with that. So Shukrana for that, Shukrana. And so I asked, I remember I'm standing in Baramandir, and I was like, Guruji, he's such a nice guy. I didn't have the wisdom he didn't give me the wisdom that I have. It was also his choosing, because he chooses what you have in here. Everything is in his hands. He didn't give me this wisdom for the teaching of today. And I was like, Guruji, please marry me to this guy. He's nice. I'm happy with him. And okay, so then few minutes later, I said that. Few minutes later, this auntie comes. I don't know if you guys saw the photo of the Diwali for 2000. It was November 7, 2018. Diwali had kalibras all over. Guruji Maharaj and Lord Shiva and Guru Nanak Dev Ji. The decoration was just kalibras. And literally, so this auntie comes, nobody knew I sent this prayer but Maharaj, but he is with you every 24/7. He hears everything. And this auntie comes up to me. I'm saying to you, 10 seconds later, she brings a kalira and says, you want to get married? And I was like, oh my God. And I got excited. My foolish mind. Guruji is saying yes to me getting married to this guy. Yay. And here I am not realizing that I'm telling Guruji to marry me, not saying you choose for me, and maybe he doesn't even want me to be married, whatever you want. That's not even a desire anymore. Shukrana to him. At the time it was, and I didn't realize that I was telling Guruji to give me this limited person instead of saying you choose whoever you want for me. So that was a learning. And the auntie comes, you want to get married? And I said, yes. And I took the kalira, and she said, take this. And I brought it home into Canada. And I'm like, yes. And so the relationship made me suffer so much. But I'm so happy I was squeezed, because it was an opportunity every second to bow and ask to connect to him. Maybe if the relationship was bed of roses, not maybe, if it was bed of roses, he knows that I wouldn't have connected to him like I did. I sat with him every day that Maharaj, please help me, please guide me. And it wasn't until I changed the prayer to, if you think this is not right for me, then take me away. If this is not yours, because if this is not from divinity, then I will be happy without it, because I'm in it and I'm severely unhappy. So then, so clearly this is telling me that this isn't from you, because if something is from you, I shouldn't be suffering. It's like flow. It was no flow. It was constant explaining my connection with Maharaj. It was constantly, you know, 20, 30 people literally like sitting around me, like with their comments about what is this you're doing? You're wasting your life. And I know it was all his test. This, that, at times I felt like Mirabai, Jai Guruji. I'm not comparing myself to Mirabai, but it's no, it's no coincidence that I started, all of a sudden Mirabai's poems started coming, because to the outside world, I had the beautiful house, and I had this wonderful relationship, and I had the wonderful car, and I had the wonderful temporary things, but inside I was so unhappy. And because these things no longer served me and it didn't make me happy, it wasn't this anymore. I wanted to speak my language with somebody and say Jai Guruji, and end my day with Jai Guruji and share satsangs with him and talk about spirituality and talk about Guruji morning to night. This is what I wanted. And more than anything, I wanted someone that Guruji was choosing for me, not me choosing and telling Maharaj. So I want to say that because I asked and it wasn't Guru's will, I suffered mentally, physically. There was a lot of times that Sangat saw me, I would share satsang and I would literally say, nobody knew, not even my mother knew what I was going through, because my parent knew and that was enough. Maharaj knew. I didn't have to tell a soul. 90% of the time, I followed his commandment of not telling anyone about anything and just going to him. And I truly went to him, and he made me realize that when you ask, I have to give you. But he didn't marry me. And he literally, yes, I moved in with so different. I just didn't have a ring and I didn't have a paper that I signed. Otherwise, it was like a marriage, because I was living with someone, I was cooking, I was taking care of a home, I was taking care of 2 dogs. It was the same thing. It was no different. And I don't believe in a ring and a paper anyway, to be married. Anyway, so he taught me a powerful lesson. And literally on the last days that my prayer changed to, Maharaj, you're my parent, you're my dad, and if you don't approve of this relationship, take me out. I don't want any help. I don't want this relationship to work. I want you to choose for me. And can you believe Maharaj took me out? The same gentleman who said he wants to be with me, and he, like, the same guy that I was with, a beautiful soul. Again, ultimately we're all his children, and he is as well. Again, just not his timing to be connected to Maharaj. He ended up saying, I don't want to be with you, something that he never said before. And I knew it was Guruji. I knew it was Guruji. And on that night only, he sent a Sangat to come to me and say this. Maharaj, through, let me be honest, Commander Sharma Satsang. So somebody translated Commander Sharma Satsang for me that night only, when I was in doubt of what I should do. If Guruji, is this you telling me to leave? Because should I try harder? Should I do this? Because I never give up. I just want to try. And here is Guruji talking through this gentleman saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I literally sat in front of Guruji and I said, please let me know this is your doing, because I will, if it's you, then I'm done. And he sends an auntie literally at that moment to tell me this. And she just said, I want to share satsang with you. And I say. And she said, Guruji Maharaj had told Commander Sharma that if the lady of the house is not respected, I do not live in that house. Oh my God. I was like, just an hour ago, just an hour ago, Guruji told me, you are not respected in this home, therefore I will not be in this home. Stop asking me to be somewhere that I don't want to be. You're forcing me, son. This is not, you're suffering from day one. And can you believe from day one, he kept sending me signs. And when I go back, I'm like, oh my God, Maharaj, you kept showing me from day one that this was not from you. And it's supposed to flow for your child. It's supposed to be happy. It's not supposed to be a struggle. It's not supposed to be, you know, oh my God, let me work harder at this. It's not. It's supposed to be ease and just effortlessly. You're supposed to be. And anyway, literally an hour before that, I was telling Maharaj that I'm not respected in this home. And he literally told in my ear, I will not be in a home where a lady is not respected. And literally, he confirmed it with Commander Sharma's Satsang that that night it sent to me, and then this auntie translates for me that Guruji had told him, you are a partner's man, you respect your woman, you love your woman. I am in a house where the lady of the house is respected. That's the home I will bless. The gods do not stay where the lady of the house is not respected. And that was for me. I will end this with this satsang because Guruji told me to share. Thank you so much for letting me share so much, Guruji Maharaj. This is why we came to this relationship thing. That my whole intention was to share that when I asked, he taught me that never to ask ever again and leave it. And can I be honest that I've never been happier in my life because all I need is him. I don't need a man. He's my man. I got my man. So I'm on this trip. We went on a trip. I was still in a relationship. Guruji sends me on a trip that I wasn't going to go initially, but Guruji sends his message that you have to go on this trip. Hanji Guruji, Satvachan Guruji, I go on the trip. I was so alone on it. I had so many people in this trip with me, quantity of people, but there was no quality. I had nothing to talk about. All they did was his will, no judgment, but there was gossip and constant, just nonsense. I wasn't connecting, and I didn't understand that through this vibration, through my inner voice, through my inner guidance, Maharaj has unlimited ways of talking to me. I shouldn't just wait for the external. If I'm feeling something, Maharaj is in all of us. And he was telling me that this is not right, because every time I was there, I would feel this unease within. And he was teaching me that this is another way. Don't limit my ways, because I did. I limited it to, I'm talking to Guruji, okay, now something outside has to come. Somebody has to send me something. Now I open WhatsApp. Now I open my laptop YouTube is going to play, I had these as well. And he keeps putting you through things that you go to the levels that he wants, because who am I to say higher or lower, to the levels that he wants. And you realize that he's talking to you 24/7 through this vibration. And he was telling me that this is not right. And so I was around a lot of people, but I wasn't feeling it. And I can't talk about my guru because it's not his will. So one night I go for a walk all alone, and I just said, Guruji, I feel so alone. I feel so alone. I'm not lonely because I got you, but I'm so alone. And I came home, I slept. My whole life changed the next morning. And in the house that I was in on this vacation home, I just want to show you, there's an outdoor wooden exterior sitting. And I have another angle. So I took photos of it. Again, Maharaj guiding me. So if you can see from the door, look out of backyard, there's this sitting area. And that morning when I opened my phone, again, another side. I'm sure you guys can see it. My beautiful family, thank you for hearing all of this. So this is the WhatsApp page that I opened that morning. So this is it's a Shukrana Guruji page, and Maharaj is sitting exactly where I was. And so I thought I'm dreaming. I literally pinched myself that Guruji, what are you showing me? And here is the photo with the Hindi writing. Can you see his ways of blessing you? This is exactly the same place. He sent me to a location where the whole country was full of these flowers. And this is Maharaj sitting exactly where I was. I'm going to show you again the same place. And I believe in Hindi it's written, you're not alone when I'm there. And this is him showing all of us that he's always there. So can you see this matching? So I wanted to just share that last, and he wanted us to know that even though you might feel alone at home, or I know a lot of us are home, but I know as Sangat, we are realizing that actually this is a blessing in disguise. This dark phase is truly for the eternal light to come. His light, Guruji Maharaj is here. Of course, he is, he was, he is, and he will be. And I believe there's, I don't know, something he's doing. I don't want to go into it. Let him show. But you are never alone. He's with you, standing beside you 24/7. You're never alone. Thank you so much, Guruji Maharaj, for letting me share his divinity. It's all him. He just uses us as vessels, and to be chosen as someone who can share his divinity. I'm so grateful to Guruji Maharaj. You know, I just want to share this last, and I will leave it. My only I don't know, I don't like sending requests because Guruji is way powerful, but I feel like sometimes I don't listen to Guruji when he tells me to share something. It's just I keep getting this direction from Maharaj that he's not happy with these YouTube accounts that are commercialized. We have to realize, just like that house that the water wasn't running, and Guruji Maharaj blessed that land with water, and that Guruji Maharaj told that uncle that you are not to sell this water, otherwise it will bring, it's not going to be good. We have to realize these satsangs, the shabads, all of it is from Guruji Maharaj to his disciples, ultimately all for Maharaj. And it's just, I feel like Guruji is telling me many times that it upsets him that these accounts are commercialized, because you can see advertisement. And if you see advertisement, from my limited thinking, please correct me if I'm mistaken, it means that you're chosen to be paid for that account. Shabads, satsangs, if people are making money off of them, I mean, it's anyway, everything is in his hands, but it's just him guiding me to share this, that this doesn't make Guruji Maharaj happy. It's meant to be free. It's all his. And, to make money off of it, it's not something he intended, because his doors were open. He gives. And as humans, if we're as Sangat, if we haven't got this, then we need to help one another. We need to help one another understand. But anyway, he's more powerful than all of us, and his messages can come in any form. But I just felt like he wanted me to share this, because I just, I click on YouTube to hear Shabbat, and then I see an advertisement, and it's like he keeps telling me this isn't right. This isn't right. So if we can, from now on, make those accounts. It's all him, so let it be used by him how he wants it to be. Thank you so much, Shukrana Guruji. Thank you so much. Jai Guruji.
Shukrana Guruji. And it's amazing. Before you shared, I'm not lonely, but I'm alone. A Sangat had shared a message. Please tell her we love her. So it's all him. And And it's so very beautiful that he takes us to the journey. And I've got so many messages from a lot of people that mentioning, say thank you to her, she she's given us so many answers. Obviously Guruji's made you say that, but I'm nobody to keep the messages to myself. And yes, the takeaways are, we are all going to go away, and Guruji Maharaj is trying to tell us that whatever is his hukam is final. And as beautifully put by you, that we are all the characters of the movie. So the script is already written. Let's not doubt his script. Such a beautiful message. I mean, I have been contemplating on this myself for past 2-3 years, and this is Guruji's way of revising the things for me too. And so many messages, such divine experience. And yes, we are all in his sharan, and whatever he guides us, we have to follow. The thing that attracts everybody to Guruji Maharaj is that this is a place where you just go for love and your spiritual elevation. So wherever money comes, like you, we also feel, restless, and obviously he would be upset because that is his path. So hence, the person is answerable to Maharaj. And it's a very good takeaway for all of us who are trying to use his name for material benefits. We should refrain from it. It's a bigger message with a lot of depth. He is beyond words to be expressed about how divine he is. I mean, we are not even worthy of expressing who he is. So such a strong message for entire Sangat. Put it in one example of YouTube. Wherever anything is being paid, Sangatji, let's not spend even a single penny on it, because he's beyond this materialism. So point is worthy mentioning, because lots of things are going on, and this is just the tip of the iceberg that you mentioned. So yes, personally close to my heart topic. Thank you. And as you said that India trip is a satsang in itself, with folded hands, we'd love to have you again whenever his hukam is. So pretty much soon. And all the Sangat is sending you lots of love and thanks, because I believe Guruji is the one who is saying that for you. And on this note, anybody whose birthday is there of in the family or there themselves, we wish you a very, very happy birthday from the entire Sangat Parivar, and hope that he gives you Naam, direct connection, and right direction. And today's takeaways, let's spiritually elevate to become worthy of him, because all of us have scope of improvement, to begin with me. And thank you, Guruji, for everything. Please do what you feel is right, but give strength to ones who are suffering, because everybody is not as strong as your daughter who just shared. Some of them need your support. And Sangaji, remember, he takes care of 90% of things on himself. Just 10% we are here handling. So Guruji gives strength to everybody. Sarbatta Pala and Dehirokta for the ones who you think deserve whatever you think is right. Shukrana Guruji once again. Sangatji, over to Subodhji for the Shabads.
हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, मोहलत मोहत न जाना, मोहलत मोहत न जाना, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, मोहलत मोहत न जाना, मोहलत मोहत न जाना, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी, हम आदमी हाँ एक दमी।
Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. Sangatji, you can unmute yourself and take Agya.
अनंतम शुक्राना मेरे मालिक, सब पर मेहर करो. Thank you for all your blessings, for taking care.